Hey guys, welcome back. Merry Christmas, and I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday season. Starting off, I'm showing you my yeast doubled in size. If you are wanting the full recipe on how to make my homemade bread dough that you can use for bread, pizza, and today I'm doing it for cinnamon rolls, I have that a few videos down if you're interested. And basically today I'm going to be making Christmas morning cinnamon rolls. I'm going to be testing one out today, and I have some reserved dough for Christmas morning to make them fresh. So I'm going to be filling this dough with some cranberry sauce, and I'm going to be using some orange glaze on top of it. So as you'll see in the other video too, basically you just keep adding a little bit of flour at a time until you can move it around, adjust it, pull apart the bread dough, and it doesn't completely stick to your fingers. Probably an 8-minute process, maybe a little bit less. Obviously, if you have a dough hook attachment, that's even better. But really, I'm so accustomed to doing it by hand, I just don't do it any other way. Something nice about the artistry of it. So you just keep adding a little bit of flour at a time. I probably used about 9 cups total. So here I'm showing you an example of where you can lay your dough to rise. And there's my dog Buddy. So there is a heater vent just under the cabinet here. And so I lay a towel over it. You can dampen the towel too. And believe it or not, it is like 4 degrees outside. So nice and toasty in my house. Okay, I'm going to lightly spray a cast iron pan. This is how I've been making them. You can totally make it in a 9x13 pan, that works too. Alright, let's roll out this dough. I preheated my oven to about 375, and I'm going to be cooking them in the cast iron for about 15-16 minutes. If you were to preheat your cast iron even like 5 minutes before you put this in the oven, it would probably cook a little bit quicker for you. So here I'm cutting away at the edges to make it a more of a rectangle shape. And then today I used dark brown sugar because I wanted to flip these over and have that be a part of the taste on top of the cinnamon roll. But light brown sugar works just as well too. So I have a puppy sitting on my foot. And so I had to do a big reach. Okay. Room temperature butter is the best thing to use for these because if you melt it and it's too melty in the microwave, it just doesn't turn out the same. You want it to melt in the oven. So half a stick will do you of room temperature butter. And butter those edges. Very important to bring some of your ingredients to the edges as well. Okay, we are just putting the cranberry sauce right on top. And what I had left was about a fourth or so of a can. But as you can see, it stretched and it did just fine. And you could totally do this with whole cranberries or not, and I think it would be just fine. I'm putting on some cinnamon. I've also used allspice. That's really good too. But this is what I had. The really cool thing about cinnamon rolls is it's so flexible with ingredients. I mean, if you have any jam you need to use up or leftover like Nutella or some fruit and you want to make a frosting, it's very forgiving and very flexible, and I've never met a cinnamon roll that I don't like. As you're rolling as best you can, kind of tighten it and pull in on itself so you get a really tight circle as best you can. I feel like that makes the best textured cinnamon roll. And then try to pinch the edges here, put back in any berries that want to not be a part of our cinnamon roll here. And then to cut the cinnamon roll, I used a bread knife. You could do unflavored dental floss. You could do some thin string. You could do even a serrated knife. You just don't want to squish them as much as you can. So I found that the bread knife works the best. And then you're going to put them in your cast iron, and you want to flatten them just a tiny bit on the top so that they spread out and they get a flat surface. It's a pretty important step to squish them down just a tiny bit, otherwise they will fall when you put them in the oven just a little bit. But alright, so here we're going to make the glaze. We're just going to use an orange. I used half an orange. I squeezed it in the container that had the cranberry so that I could have some of that cranberry flavor in my glaze as well. If you wanted to, you could just take a pinch of your cranberry sauce too. The really cool thing about a glaze versus a frosting is that one, it's a little bit lighter, but two, if you only have a little bit left of ingredients, it's the perfect way to use them up. As you can see, you just basically put in enough powdered sugar to wet it and taste it for sweetness. My husband and I tried these and we both agreed it's probably one of the best cinnamon rolls I've ever made. Merry Christmas, everyone, and have a happy holiday season.